Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Maria Porras.
Thank you, Ms. Porras. Ms. Porras, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. You have a status conference August 6th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming the requested bond in the amount of $4,500. That is a secured appearance bond. You can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $4,500 would be $450. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to, you'll also see pretrial services for supervision, and you will have an ankle monitor installed. And you must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you are not to possess any weapons, and you must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Ms. Porras, do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Teresa Settle, and then Octavio Pesquera will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Teresa Renee Settle, 11.
Thank you, Ms. Settle. Ms. Settle, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegations of one count of fraudulent schemes, a Class 2 felony, one count of aggravated taking the identity of another, a Class 3 felony. I have appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 6th, 8:31 a.m., preliminary hearing August 8th, 8:31 a.m. That's at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Settle, are you also currently being held on bond in your other cases?
No, I have an attorney. I do have one. Actually, I was supposed to get sentenced on the 21st of August. I had already signed my pleas.
Okay. So it looks like you were here back on June 6th. You were held non-bondable at that time. Mm-hmm. Have you been released since that time?
No.
You have not. Okay. All right, Ms. Settle, what I'm going to do then, the county attorney had asked for a $50,000 bond. I'm going to set a $5,000 bond. However, don't pay that bond. You're non-bondable in the other cases. Even if you paid it, you wouldn't be released. More or less, I just have to set a bond. So you will still see the judge August 6th. That's before your sentencing hearing. I've appointed you an attorney. I would imagine it would be the same one that you already have, but nevertheless, I've appointed you an attorney, so you can talk to your attorney about that.
Okay.
And about, what your options are, I guess, going forward in this case. So again, don't pay the bond because you are non-bondable at this time. All right. Ms. Settle, do you have any questions?
I know.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you. Good luck to you. All right. Octavio Pesquera, and then Stephen Jones will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Octavio Pesquera, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Pesquera.
Yep.
Sir, you're here on a Superior Court grand jury warrant. Charges one count of a prisoner possessing or making contraband, a Class 5 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have an arraignment hearing August 7th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I'm affirming bond in the amount of $7,500. However, it's my understanding, sir, you are currently in DOC custody, so payment of the bond will not secure your release, and they will arrange for you to be transported on August 7th to court. Sir, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Stephen Jones, and then Andrew Thresher will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Stephen Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, you're here on a Superior Court failure to appear probation warrant, and you have a probation hearing scheduled August 7th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I've appointed you an attorney. Mr. Jones, I am affirming bond amount of $5,000. However, it's my understanding you are currently in custody with the Arizona Department of Corrections, so don't pay that bond. Even if you pay it, you won't be released, and by not paying it, it should count towards time served. Mr. Jones, do you have any questions? All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Andrew Thresher, and then Angelina Rivera will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Andrew Thresher.
Thank you, Mr. Thresher. Mr. Thresher, you're here on a Superior Court grand jury warrant. Charge of 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. That's a Class 3 felony, 1 count of assault, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney. You have an arraignment hearing August 7th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming bond in the amount of $5,000. That is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. That would be $500. So if you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on the 7th, comply with pretrial services supervision, and have an electronic ankle monitor installed. You also must comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You are not to possess any weapons. You must obey the terms of any order of protection or injunction against harassment, and you must submit to DNA and fingerprinting at the arresting police department. Mr. Thresher, do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. My question is, if I appeared virtually over, because how can I put this? I went in, not in, but on a video to court this month, and I was wondering why was it issued for a warrant?
Well, so this is a grand jury warrant, sir. So it looks like the original offense date's November 27th, 2023. So the grand jury met. They considered the information that was provided to them. They determined that this case should move forward, and this warrant was issued based on that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Angelina Rivera and then Nicole Hess will be on deck. Good evening, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Angelina Rivera, Nicole.
Thank you, Ms. Rivera. Ms. Rivera, you're here on a Superior Court new case. I find probable cause for the allegation of 1 count of aggravated assault, which is a Class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a status conference August 6th, 8:31 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse, and a preliminary hearing August 8th at 8:31 a.m. Ms. Rivera, I am setting bond in the amount of $2,500. That's a secured appearance bond, meaning you can pay that amount directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $2,500 would be $250. So if you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You'll see pretrial services for supervision and have an ankle monitor installed. And you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with any alleged victims, complainants, or witnesses, or have any physical contact with any alleged victims. You're also not to possess any weapons, and you must obey the terms of any order of protection or injunction against harassment that has been issued or which may be issued. Ms. Rivera, do you have any questions?
Wait, what about the monitor? What'd you say?
Yeah, so if you pay your bond, you'll be released, but then you'll have an ankle monitor installed.
Oh, right.
Any other questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, thank you, Ms. Rivera.
You're welcome.
Nicole Hess and then Roger Porter will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Nicole Van Hess, June 1st.
Thank you, Ms. Hess. Ms. Hess, you're here on 4 Superior Court probation violation warrants. 4 alleged violations of terms 5 and 15. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled August 7th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Ms. Hess, I am affirming the bonds in these cases. One's in the amount of $2,500, one's the amount of $1,000, one's the amount of $750, and one's in the amount of $500. The total between all 4 is $4,750. It's a secured appearance bond. You can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral, which would be $475. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you are promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Hess, do you have any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Roger Porter and then Scott Formanak will be on deck. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Roger Porter.
Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant for alleged violations of terms 3 and 5. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled August 7th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. And Mr. Porter, I am affirming bond in the amount of $2,500 to secured appearance bond, meaning that you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $2,500 would be $250. If you pay your bond, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates, and you're promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, sir, you're not to possess any weapons, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Porter, do you have any questions?
Yes, one question. It's kind of a misunderstanding going on with me and my probation officer. I got a new probation officer, and I'm not really communicating with her well. I just got out of my old job that I worked at the hotel. I don't live there no more. I was trying to give her my new address. She never called me back. Me and my wife was waiting for her to call. We still never got no call. So now my wife is pregnant, and now I'm here, and I'm trying to figure out how did I, you know what I'm saying, what would I do wrong?
All right, let's see.
This is also a new probation officer, sir.
I guess the issue I'm seeing, Mr. Porter, is in the notes. So you missed some appointments, then there was some recent discussion, there was a recent phone call, like about a week ago or two.
Never heard from her again.
Well, so you were told, so you didn't show up where you were supposed to.
And another thing is my transportation, that I'm homeless. I need a bus card, and that's what I've been asking for. My last probation officer, she was supposed to have somebody bring that to me. She never brought me that. And I don't know what happened to her, if she got removed from my case. I still need a bus card for me to transport from 27th and Sweetwater to Scottsdale.
Okay.
That was my main problem, and then she never called me back. Never was no communication. That's all it was, sir.
Yeah. So I guess the problem I'm seeing, sir, is that, again, on July 19th, your probation officer is asking you where you are staying, and you would not give the location of your whereabouts.
I was staying at my job on Sweetwater. 2733 is my hotel that I was working at. I no longer work there no more. I work as a piper. I work at another job now. But that was my address that I was staying at the hotel. I was working there as well. And I also gave her my brother's address, and nobody never came to my brother, nobody called my brother. That's where I paroled to when I first got out. Nobody never even came there, told me nothing. My brother be there all day, I'll be there when he come off of work. Nobody never told me nothing. That's why she could never pull up like my first PO. I would have been there, I would have been ready, take care of whatever I got to take care of like a man so I can go out and take care of my kids.
Well, so I'm sorry, so why didn't you take care of it?
Nobody never came to my house. My brother is on my parole. My brother's house is right there on 15th Avenue, Missouri. That's where I paroled to when I got out.
Okay, but I'm seeing in this conversation that she's trying to get your information and where you're staying, and you're not giving her that information.
I'm not communicating with her, that's it. I apologize for that on both my sides, but at the same time, I'm not getting no communication on her side either. Every time I call, it's an answer machine, or I'm just want to go down there. How can I be able to meet her face to face so we can get this understood? If she don't mind that, I'll be there every day face to face.
Well, right, but you were supposed to show up. You didn't show up that day, face to face. You had that opportunity to show up face to face. She's then asking you for information. You've said you're taking some responsibility. I'm glad, but she's saying, hey, you need to give me this information. You're not giving it to her.
No, sir, I see what you're saying.
So
the misunderstanding on my behalf. I apologize.
Yeah. So I guess, Mr. Porter, what I want you to know, and for everyone else who's listening right now, is, look, I have no doubt that probation is a pain in the neck, that it is frustrating, that it's annoying to have to put up with, okay? I absolutely believe that's true. But understand, probation is a privilege so that you don't have to go spend time in prison.
That's real.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there are people, a lot of people, who never ever let anything get in the way of them complying with probation.
That's right.
They never let anything get in the way. It doesn't matter if they don't like their probation officer. It doesn't matter if they think their probation officer is asking them to do stupid things. They do it. And I see those people on rare occasions. When I see them, it's usually because they've relapsed. They get violated, they come in here, and I immediately release them because I can look and see, you know what, you've been fully in compliance. There's no reason for you to be here.
Yes, sir.
And I wish I saw that here, sir. I genuinely do. Because, frankly, I want people to be able to comply with probation. I want it to happen. But I think sometimes, you know, unfortunately, you have to learn you've got to comply. You've got to make sure that no matter what, you are fully in compliance. You can't let any excuses get in the way. And because if you do, then this is what happens is you end up coming here.
You're right. I ain't got no excuses. Next time I'll be there, and I'll finish whatever I got to do.
Okay.
I apologize for not being there, not showing up. Take my responsibility as a man.
No, I appreciate that, Mr. Porter.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
I had to get my bond here. I get my number on my bond.
It's $2,500.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Scott.